Okay, so this is the third video here. I want to show you something. You see this line here? I can move this up. This is our divider line. I'm actually moving it here into, as I'm moving across the boxes, you see it's still printing. Sometimes if you ever find that you can't find an object, you can hit the command up or down arrow and bring forward, send back, and that will pop the object forward if it's behind a bunch of other objects. Or if you just can't somehow find it, you can click on hide, unhide selected. And you can come over here and you can click on hide or unhide selected, and that'll show it to you. Okay, so you can see that as you start building and putting things together here, it can be hard to actually quite get into things. So what I've done is I've resized the margin lines up here. I've given myself a little bit more space. And what I want to do is I want to put data up here so that I know what I'm actually looking at. So we're going to take mini string and we're going to put we're going to left align it. And we're going to give this a name. We're going to call this Q number. And we're going to go to our fonts and I'm going to bold this. Okay, and then for quickness sake, I can just duplicate it, and then I can call this start end, and then I can call this right here, and call this dialog. And then I can, let me see, I'm looking more at this. Oh, yeah, one more thing. I can come over here and I can just call this notes. Okay, so that right there are my sheet. This is, and let's see here, I can just come here if I want, and I can actually change the font size to 10. Okay, I just select those and hit 10 on that. Okay, so let's save this. Okay, and we're going to go into ADR Toolbox and see how it looks. Okay, one more thing, I showed you the cue boxes, right? What I want to show you real quick is the take box. Right now, this is, you can just grab the line, you can grab the take information, and you can put that in here. Okay. You just resize that. You can see how it fits. Now that you can see how it's because it's fitting properly, it's being displayed. All right. So now we'll align that left. And this is your take information. Again, you can do the same thing. You can change your font here. I like Herculaneum. Okay, give it some weird look about it. And then we can use, and then again, this will dynamically resize. Okay, depending on how much information you have in there. Okay, so that right there is, we're going to center these objects real quick. Center object. Center those. Great. So that right here is now we're ready to print. We have all this data here, and so just to show you real quick, these just as a handful of data that you can print out. We've got the character, so if you had your character's name, because these sheets are actually being made probably for a caricature. Okay, we can economize and not actually include the character's name. Okay, you can, if you wanted to have the character's name in there and the actor's name, you could choose to populate those variables in the actual program's printing parameters. But we have character, we have prefix, we have character prefix, character TV prefix, our line number, alt designator. We have the director's note, which we put over here. We have the reason, which we put over here. We have the scene, which we put here. The red boxes, by the way, are assets. The blue boxes are queue objects or pre-queue objects or node objects. We have the modification date. These are all the variables that you have with a queue. So this could be the date the queue was last modified. The shot date, is it TV? Is it omitted? Is it deleted? Is it something you need to check? Is it shot? Is it cut? These will show up as black for true and gray for false if you put them in there. Okay. Your line to replace styled, your actor name. Again, this is for your queue objects. Okay. Your consolidated line number, which we put in here. Your dynamic attributes. This is basically all of the true false properties we have here: the shot date, the TV omitted, deleted, to check, shot, cut, and basically it will only print them out if they're true. So if this was actually only TV, okay, if this is actually just a TV line, it would only print TV here. But basically, I've included all these attributes so that you know how to scale it. So if you want all these things to show up somewhere somehow, okay, then I've given you the ability to know how big it could possibly be. Okay, and you could, I don't know, you could fit this somewhere in there, right? Okay, we'll do that. We'll actually do that. That's a little small, but that's fine. We have our line to replace unstyled, which I showed you, which we don't have in there. We have the time in, feet and frame, the timeout, feet and frame, the time in, time code, the timeout, time code. We also have the frame rate. I want to bring you back to this, so that way if you need to tell people what frame rate your time code's at, you can include this. And this is dynamic because, again, you could have different queues. If you could have different frame rates in your session. So as the frame rate only belongs to the version that you're queuing in. Frame image. This is a really cool thing. If you have movies attached to your QuickTimes in my program, this will grab the movie, the corresponding end scene, end footage, end point for that movie. So right here, I can resize this as such. This is the old Mosfilm logo for the former Soviet film studio in Moscow. I always liked it. It was the hammer and sickle. Even I don't know why. I mean, that'd be like me telling you I liked Nazi propaganda or something. But anyway, I always liked the Mosfilm logo. Anyway, but this is a picture image, and you can just drag this and you can put it in your queue, and it can be as big or as small as you want. And again, it'll grab that frame, the endpoint of your reel. We'll put it in there so you can just see how it echoes. Okay, but we'll remove it for now. All right, the title, subtitle, page number, supervisor, date printed, date. These are all page assets that you put at the top or at the bottom or wherever on the page. Okay, again, and then these are primitives. So right here, this is custom image, but really, if you want to put an image in your document, you just grab it from the desktop. Okay. We're going to go ahead and grab a picture from just the desktop or from wherever. I happen to like lolcats. I typed in actually funny picture and I misspelled it, and the first thing it came up with was a lolcats. If you don't know what lolcats are, then you're probably better off. Anyway, here's a little image we just dragged into the program. Okay, this little cat says "I has a swagger." Anyway, this could be your show logo. Okay, but you can put it here. And let's see here, send back. There you go. It actually goes back behind your images. So if you wanted to change your text, color of your text, you could. Okay. Anyway, but you'd obviously position your text around this. But again, if you want to if you like to have images, your logo of your film you're working on, this is probably something the director and everybody would appreciate. Okay, we're gonna get rid of the little. No, we'll keep it in there. We'll keep it in there. We'll put greatest supervisor over here. Okay, because I want to show you how this works. Okay, cool, and we'll continue on to another video.